And we're live.
Hey guys, this is a very special Hacks Chat with me, RT Bear, and Taylor Grosso. Say hi, Taylor.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we were very sad to hear the passing of Burt Reynolds. So we had to do this, our little tribute really fast. So this is all impromptu. We weren't planning on doing this, but we started talking, and the more we started talking about it, the more we realized how much we love this man and how damn funny he is. And the image you're seeing right now is from the movie The End. And yeah, this poster pretty much shows you why we love this guy. It'll blow your mind. Burt Reynolds, The End. Yeah, he's got a gun to his head, and the other guy is just holding his ears. Like, what the heck, dude? Like, you're not even trying to stop him. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna plug my ears because it's gonna be loud, not to mention messy. But yeah, so what we thought we would do is we would put our top three Burt Reynolds movies together, and we would share them with you. And if anybody's out there, that you could share your top three with us as well. So yeah, do you want to just get into this, Taylor, or do you want to talk about something else, and we'll wait for people to come in here?
I say we get into it. Are you going to do it in chronological order, or is this not any favorite order?
Yeah, I'm going to do it my top three. So I'll start with my favorite movie to my least favorite movie. So maybe, hey, Art. Hey, what is it?
Got a couple people. They're all greeting you warmly.
Yes. Hey, everybody on the chat, if you're a Burt Reynolds fan, even if you're not, I need to see your favorite, maybe just your favorite Burt Reynolds movie.
You got to have one.
There has to be at least one. I grew up in the 70s, so around 77, 78, 79, Burt Reynolds was ruling supreme, and so I worked at a drive-in movie theater, so I got to go to the movies all the time. So I saw plenty of Burt Reynolds movies. What does that one say?
Smokey and the Bandit wins for me, says Irish.
Oh, yeah, the standard.
That's going to be a popular one.
Yeah, yeah. So let's start with, you know what we'll do? We'll trade off. We'll go your third, my third, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll go my second, your second, and back and forth. So why don't you start, Taylor, with your third?
Okay, so this one, I purposely excluded Smokey and the Bandit from the list because I think like everybody loves that movie. But for my third is a movie that, I don't know, it's probably one of his least popular movies. It's called Paternity. Have you heard of it? It's about Burt Reynolds. That's perfect. That summarizes the movie.
By the way, I don't want to derail this, but this... Taylor actually, well, I should let you tell the story. She loves this, by the way.
I do. It was really weird. Like, a couple weeks ago, I started on a whim looking to buy this poster, and they're expensive. I've been looking for one most of my life. Now it's going to be even more expensive. Rest in peace.
We should just print this out. Isn't that weird, though? After all these, this was probably like the late 70s. And you're still like, I need this poster. My favorite thing is, other than just the obvious, is that he's got a cigarette in his mouth and there's an ashtray. Like, this is the height of luxury in the 70s right here. Like a cigarette, nudity, and a bear rug, and an ashtray. And look, it's all nice and shiny glass and everything.
It's inviting.
Yeah, it's like, I want to smoke and lay on a bear rug naked.
But people are asking about Paternity. That's the one where he wants to be a father and is looking for a baby mama. Exactly. It's a really weird movie where Burt Reynolds is like a cad who womanizes everywhere. But at the same time, he really loves children, which is really bizarre. Like, the way they present it is so strange because he's like, oh, I really love kids. And it's like, well, you're with all these chicks. But he's like, no, they're not the right women because they're just whatever. They're losers. I guess they're good for him to sleep with. But so he tries to find the right woman to carry his baby. And the poster is disturbing because it's just like a really sexy Burt Reynolds pointing at you. like the viewer.
Oh, the "I Want You" poster.
Yeah, it says "I want you to have my baby." It's like really direct and disturbing. But then, you know, he meets some mousy girl, but she starts to fall for him, and it's kind of funny because they frame it up like, "Oh no, she's falling for him," and it's like, well, of course she would. Like, the question is whether he'd fall for her.
Right.
So, you know, they end up together. Spoiler alert. So Paternity is my number 3.
Oh man, I got to see that now. I haven't seen it, but I do remember the poster. And that's the thing about like Burt Reynolds that I like, is that it's weird and that he pushes the comedy. Like sometimes, well, a lot of times into the like where there's like a lack of taste.
Yes.
Tasteless kind of humor, but I like it. I like the potty humor. Mine would be, and this isn't funny, there are some funny moments, but The Longest Yard. And I know it's a classic and everything else, and I didn't really care for the remake. It was okay, but the original one, back in the day, the young Burt Reynolds, and I just thought it was cool, like these guys that are in this penitentiary, and you know they've done bad things and all, but they're really being downtrodden by the penitentiary and the people that are running the place, and so they have a chance to shine, and that's in the form of like this football game. And so Burt Reynolds is an I don't know if I think he's high school, college, maybe he was like semi-pro or something like that. So he puts this team together, and then it's one of those like you know, conquering, like overcoming like the status quo kind of story, where you know they're enslavers, they rise up and they have their one moment of glory, you know, to show them that they're not just, you know, a bunch of punks and a-holes, that they actually they can work together and they can do something. And I always liked that movie. I thought it was really cool. So that would be my third. So what's your second?
The remake of that movie was like a straight up comedy, right?
I think so. There's comedic moments in The Longest Yard, but that's why I like the early Burt Reynolds movies, because they're not always just straight comedy. Some of them there's really heavy dramatic moments in them, and that one has those aspects. There's some really funny stuff, but there's some really, you know, dramatic stuff as well.
I think in the 70s, like, more movies used to like include humor just in their stuff. Like, not everything was so dreary.
Yeah, as a general.
Let's see. Bert smacking people around and wrecking cars and picking fights policemen. What's up not to love? That better be from a movie, and you better not be besmirching Burt Reynolds' name in this chat.
That sounds like a Smokey and the Bandit kind of thing. So.
Oh right.
Yeah. So what's your second?
My second is Deliverance.
Oh my gosh, poor Ned Beatty.
That movie it's really weird. I rewatched it a couple years ago, because I feel like it's a movie that everybody knows the plot to and everybody remembers, but not a lot of people have seen. And you know what? That's an action-packed, pretty good movie once you get past the squeal like a pig part.
There's some crazy stuff in that movie. Yeah, there's some good action too.
They have to fight for Oh, that's the start of The Longest Yard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have known. You know what? To be honest, I haven't seen some of these movies since they came out. So I don't remember specifics, but the one thing I am going to do, my top 3 movies, I am going to watch them tonight.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Go ahead. You should also watch Deliverance.
Well, that's your top 3. I don't know if I can handle poor Ned Beatty.
That movie stresses me out, but not for the reason you think. And it's because, like, towards the end, they're like, we can't tell the police. We absolutely can't tell the police because we killed those guys. And it's like, they have a really good defense and multiple witnesses to what happened, so there really is no reason why they can't tell the police. Like, they agree to lie to one of their friends' wives because he dies. Like, they're like, we're just gonna tell her he drowned or something. And it's like, you rather lie to a woman you've known for like 15 years, I think they said. Like, you rather lie to her about your friend's death than just tell the police. Mm. And it always really bothered me. That one's not a comedy, but I recommend it.
Taylor, it's the guy code, man. They're ashamed too, because is it Ned Beatty who's the one that dies?
No, it's one of I forget what character it is.
Because I was thinking,
it's not Ned Beatty though. He makes it.
Because I was thinking, if it's Ned Beatty, you don't want to ever tell that story again. That story died, in that that moment. No one else ever talked about it.
Yeah, I would omit that part of the story.
Yeah, I wouldn't be telling that either. I'd say Ned was a brave
John
dude.
Voight, yeah, that was the character. I
So
believe.
John Voight's character died?
Yeah, he's the one that doesn't make it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder if that's before he impregnated his wife to have Angelina Jolie.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah. Little Angelina. Okay. This movie I'm very passionate about. I'm so passionate about I actually found a trailer for it. So my movie is The End. This movie is not to be taken seriously, obviously, by this poster. This is so twisted. This movie would never, ever be made today. It's basically about the Burt Reynolds character gets diagnosed with a terminal illness. And so before it can take his life, he's going to, by his own hands, take his own life. So he tries, and so then his family have him incarcerated in, a maximum like security kind of mental facility. And so he's there, but he's still pretty hell bent on offing himself. So he goes in, and he's just kind of like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. So then a doctor, or a seemingly doctor, comes in and starts talking to him about things. And so he actually starts commiserating with this guy. And so the guy he's Dom DeLuise, and Burt Reynolds doesn't see that he doesn't have any pants on. So he's got like a suit jacket, like from his crotch up, he looks like a doctor, but from the crotch down, he's insane. And so then Burt Reynolds is like talking about like, taking his life. And so then strangely, the doctor starts saying, yeah, well, maybe you should. And he said, but this is maybe the way you should do it. And so there's a bedpan right by the bed, and it's one of those electric beds that move up and down, and you have those remotes. And so there's a bedpan. He goes, this is the way you should do it. And then he puts the bedpan in the mechanism in the bed, and then he hits the remote, and it crushes the bedpan. And so he said, it'll be quick, it'll be painless, and you should do it. And so Burt Reynolds is kind of like, oh, okay, doctor. Like, he's thinking it's kind of weird, but maybe this guy is passionate. Maybe he's like trying to help him, spare his, years of or months of pain and suffering with this disease. And so, you didn't see Dom DeLuise without his pants on, but then when he stands up and he walks away, you notice that he doesn't have his pants on. But Burt Reynolds doesn't see that. So he just sees, he just looks the other way, and the guy walks off. So then we smash cut, or we go back to another scene, and then we smash cut back to the room. And Burt Reynolds' family's coming into the room, like to talk to him or whatever, about this suicide. And he's in the bed, like his head's in that mechanism, and he's got his hand on the remote, and he's crushing his skull, and he's screaming, ah! And his family comes in just at that moment, and they wrestle the remote away from his hand, and spare him his life. So basically, the whole movie is that he has this weird relationship with Dom DeLuise, who's obviously crazy. And so all Dom DeLuise, because he likes him, and then Burt Reynolds kind of likes him too. So Dom DeLuise is just trying to help him kill himself. So he has all these different ways of killing himself. So I don't want to spoil it, but every one of the ways that they try to kill Burt is hilarious. And so we found this trailer, and this is the end. So this is spoiler alert. So let's see if we can play this.
The end.
So what he does is he swims out miles in the ocean, and then he realizes he doesn't want to die, but he's exhausted. So he starts looking around. So the kid...
Help me, Lord.
Look how far out he is.
I promise not to try and kill myself anymore. Save me, and I swear I'll be a better father. I'll be a better man. I'll be a better everything.
He's pleading with God
Oh,
now.
God. I can't do this to Julie.
The music is
We
very
can't
touching
do this
though.
to Julie.
That's artfully filmed.
Oh, God. Let me live, and I promise to obey every one of the 10 commandments. I shall not kill. I shall not commit adultery. I shall not. I'll learn the 10 commandments. I'll obey every fucking one of them. Just get me back to the beach. I'll be honest in business. I promise not to sell lakeside lots unless there's a lake around. I want to see another sunrise. I want to see another sunset. It was a mistake, God. I never really wanted to kill myself. I just wanted to get your attention. If you make it, I'll give you 50% of everything I make. 50%, God. I want to point out that nobody gives 50%. I'm talking gross, God.
50%. Oh, the music's gonna make me cry.
The music's all
I
emotional.
think I'm gonna make it.
There's the shore.
You won't regret this, Lord. I'll obey every commandment. I'll see my parents more often. No more cheating in business. Once I get rid of those 9 acres in the desert. I'm gonna start donating that 10%.
Even with sprinkles of comedy, Bert could turn a dramatic performance. I agree with
Yeah.
Dead Punk.
10%, Lord. But 10% to start. You know why you're 10%? They don't take it. I know it was you that saved me, but it was also you that made me sick.
He blames him.
I hope you guys can hear this.
All right, we gotta shut this off.
Okay.
We got a copyright warning.
Okay.
That's all you guys get to see.
That's all you guys. I should turn it off though. Anyways, this crazy guy comes out. This crazy guy comes out and tries to shoot him at the end. So yeah, I hope we didn't get in trouble. But yeah, I just wanted to show that to you because that clip is so darn funny. If you guys haven't seen this movie, I don't think it's one of his more popular. Actually, I don't know, but to me, it's one of my favorite Burt Reynolds movies. It's just so crazy and nutty. So I hope you guys like that. I hope that wasn't too self-indulgent. But go ahead, Taylor. So what's your
Oh, the
what's
very
your-
last one.
what's your number one?
My number one is All Dogs Go to Heaven, the original.
Is there another one?
There's actually like 3.
Oh, there's like a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sequel and a horrible TV show, but only the original one has Burt Reynolds doing the voice of Charlie, the main character.
So what is Charlie the dog?
All right, I should probably pitch the actual plot of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so All Dogs Go to Heaven is a very strange Don Bluth movie, and it follows... It's a movie that seems like it could have been told in the 70s from a human standpoint, but Don Bluth got a hold of it and made it all dogs. Because it's about a dog gangster named Charlie, played by Burt Reynolds. Who, they remember him. I remember All Dogs Go to Heaven too in theaters as a kid. I saw that one in theaters too. I didn't see the
Awesome.
first one in theaters. Anyway, so he's like almost like a dog mobster, and he finds
Yeah,
out
see?
he finds out that his like the mob boss named Carface is he finds out that he's been making all this money on like betting and horse races, and the reason he's like he needs to find out his secret for why he's doing this. But before he can find out it, like Carface finds he gets double crossed by Charlie, and he has Charlie whacked. So Charlie gets murdered, goes to heaven, and his guardian angel tells him like, "Don't worry about being a bad person, because all dogs go to heaven." And Charlie's like, "I don't want to die. I want to go back to Earth." So he steals a magical clock that has his like time left on Earth on basically, and he takes it. He goes back to Earth, and she tells him, if you leave, you can never come back. But he leaves anyway, takes the watch with him. Basically, he can rewind it back to give himself more time.
Ooh, cool.
So
I want one of those.
it's pretty cool. So then he goes to Earth and finds that the reason Carface, this is where the plot gets even weirder, the reason Carface has been winning all these like horse racing things is because he has a little girl that can talk to animals. And she's been talking to the horses and figuring out who's going to win. So Charlie abducts this little girl and then they become buddies. And he learns to love and become a better person.
Sounds like a Dougton Apple story.
Actually, it's kind of his sensibility.
Yeah. If there was a giant kraken or a kraken suit in it. Yeah.
He steals the clock from the heavens and is
And
granted to immortality.
And then finds the kraken suit.
So yeah, the first Always Go to Heaven is really good despite being really strange. So it's actually probably my favorite Don Bluth movie and probably my favorite Burt Reynolds movie. It was weird. In the second one, they replaced him with Charlie Sheen. And that voice is like Burt Reynolds brought a lot of like soul to that Charlie voice, even though he was a scoundrel. And like Charlie Sheen doesn't have that. No offense.
Charlie Sheen has good comedic timing, but I think Burt Reynolds has better. Yeah. So I think he would be better at the improv and just making stuff up. Just jokes on the fly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I got to see that movie again. I don't remember any of that. I know I did see it.
So your number one pick.
It's not even all good dogs. It's all dogs.
Yeah, they even tell him, like, because he's like, wow, I was a terrible person. His angel says, like, it doesn't matter. All dogs go.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, especially because the bad guy that murdered Charlie at the end, they show that he's in heaven. I don't know how I like as a kid, I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, the good versus evil, story doesn't quite work as well as it should in that concept.
Especially for a kids movie, considering one was a murderer.
Yeah, you think you'd want the message to be, be good so you can go to heaven, But I guess it makes the kids feel good because even if their dog's bad, they're still going to go to heaven. They're not saying the kids are going to go to heaven, though.
But dogs,
But their dogs might. Well, no, their dogs will. Yeah. So, God, that was funny. That was good. Sharky's Machine is my top choice. I remember seeing this. I was probably 17 or 18 in the theater, and this movie to me was freaking intense. And I think it's the template for all those kind of heavy cop dramas. And the thing is, what I liked about Sharky's Machine is it wasn't just like a buddy cop, because they just made a bunch of buddy cop movies after that. This is like a team of cops, and there's this psycho like mobster guy, and he's just wreaking havoc. And so Burt Reynolds is a cop, and so he gets this assignment that he's got to keep this girl alive because she's got information on this guy to put him down. And of course the guy wants to kill her. And this woman, if you guys know her name, tell me. She's absolutely gorgeous. Had a major crush on her as a kid, and so he's got to keep her alive, I guess, to stand trial or whatever. And so this guy just keeps wreaking havoc, and so Burt Reynolds has a bunch of guys that are his friends, and they're cops as well. So I don't remember the detail of it. Like I said, I just saw it when I was younger, and so they basically have to defend this woman, keep her alive, and then they finally go after the villain. They find out where he is, and they go after him. And they're just going to like bring him into justice. But this guy is not going to go quietly. So it was the first time I saw like somebody do cocaine. I don't know if this was before My Little Friends. What is it?
Scarface.
Scarface, because this was probably 78. I don't know when Scarface was done. But this guy gets all coked up, and so they keep like shooting this guy and he doesn't die and he just won't go down. And I don't know the actor's name. I think he was one of the Bond villains. This guy is frightening looking, absolutely frightening looking. Even when the camera's not trying to make him scary. If you just saw this guy like at a family reunion or a birthday party, you'd like cringe like, oh my gosh, that guy's freaking me out. So anyways, all those guys. I like movies I like the Alamo story. I like those guys that go out with their boots on, like they make their last stand. So each one of these guys, these cops, have this moment that's their kind of like their last stand, and they all confront this guy. I think they say he's a ghost. He's a ghost. Like there's one. This black guy gets shot in the
Rachel Ward.
Rachel Ward, you get you get an award, dude. You get
Frog buck.
you get a frog buck. There you go. And oh my gosh, isn't she gorgeous? And so he gets shot up in like a stairwell or something, and he's kind of bleeding out. I think most of them live, or all of the cops end up living. But this guy's really messed up, and this guy's like, Burt Reynolds comes on him, and then he says, the guy's an effing ghost, Sharky. He's a ghost. I unloaded my revolver on him, and he didn't go down. He didn't go down. And I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Like, and Burt Reynolds like, holy shit, man. This guy just shot this guy like several times, and he didn't die, and he's still out there. So then, of course, Burt Reynolds follows him up. I guess there's probably a blood trail or one of those kind of ideas. Follows him up into this room, and then the guy's like breathing all heavy, but he's still alive. And I think he snorts a line of coke before this Burt Reynolds comes in. And so they have their little exchange, little monologue, and then the guy's like, you're not going to take me alive, or something like that. So then he goes to shoot Sharky, and then Sharky just bop, 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 and I think there's a window behind him and just goes catapulting out the window. But anyways, oh my gosh, God, it's so dramatic. It's so amazing. It's one of the first cool cop shows like I saw.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's probably some Burt Reynolds humor to it, but it's pretty straightforward drama, and it's an R-rated movie, so it gets pretty violent. It gets pretty aggressive, and of course Burt gets the lady at the end, so it's pretty cool. So Sharky's Machine is my favorite, so tonight I'm going to rewatch all these movies. It should be cool.
I'm going to look that one up for sure.
Yeah, so this was just going to be a quick one, so go ahead.
Yeah, I want to see that, says Learn. Someone in the chat said their favorite was Cannonball Run, and I don't think I've ever actually seen that movie.
I like Cannonball Run, actually. That's the Wacky Races kind of movie, right?
I don't know. I've seen the poster for it, but I haven't actually seen the movie.
God, there's another movie, Around the World in 80 Days. There's another movie that's kind of, I think that this was based on. So it's kind of a Wacky Races idea where they have to, they have all these eccentric car drivers and stuff, and they have to get to a destination, or it's a race, but they have to get to a certain point.
Is that the original Rat Race? Maybe not.
Maybe. I think
Rat Race is different. I don't think they have cars. I think it's just them trying to get to like a money prize or something.
Yeah, it's a similar idea.
Dead Punk says, I'm from the South, so besides Smoking the Bandit, which is like everyone's favorite, The Longest Yard, Cannonball Run, and I'm gonna allow you to read the rest of what your last one was. It's a Mad, Mad World.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
I'm gonna cheat here. Lightning and Gator Together. Everybody likes a Cannonball Run.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm not gonna be able to have time to watch that tonight, but I think I want to watch that because I think it's kind of a Wacky Races idea, and I like that, where there's a bunch of eccentric, race car drivers, and they have to do something, and all this craziness ensues, from point A to point B. So yeah, that's cool. So so R.I.P. Burt. We love you, and hopefully he went to heaven. I know he's not a dog, but hopefully he went to the good place.
Well, he bargained in the end, so I think that it would still.
You know what? That's funny. There is a whole theme, right?
Yeah.
The end. All dogs go to heaven, and that this is an R.I.P. show. Oh my gosh! Yeah. So salute, my friend. I hope you're making movies up in heaven somewhere. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a little self-indulgent, but we wanted to do our little Burt segment for you guys. So thanks, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and also thanks to all the people that subscribed. I think we are over 1,000 subs. So thanks. Keep getting the word out. And Black and White is going to go live on Indiegogo probably Thursday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the least or the latest of next week. We're trying to get everything together now, so it's a mad scramble to get all the pieces together. So it's quite quite a lot of moving pieces to these Indiegogos. So, anyways, thanks guys. Have a great day and keep Bert in your heart.
Rest in peace, Bandit.